university and external bodies. They are responsible for advocating for better facilities, promoting inclusivity in physical activity, and supporting both competitive and recreational sports.
Hello, my name is Zara Orwell and I'm interviewing Gemma Bridges for Sports Officer. Okay, hello.
Hi.
First of all, very easy question to start off with. Just tell me very briefly about your sporting background at university.
Yeah, so I've been part of the athletics and running club for all of my university career, and I've been president, vice president, treasurer and social secretary.
Oh, wow.
So I've really enjoyed being on the committee and want to take the next step up to run for sports officer.
That sounds great. Okay, next question. Two of your manifesto points are about funding. You have one point that discusses getting a sports union sponsor so more funding can be allocated to equipment, facilities and social/college sport. And you also have a point about a focus on injury prevention and recovery through increased resources and further access to discounted physiotherapy. My main question is just how do you plan on completing these tasks?
Yeah, so I understand that maybe the sport union sponsor might seem quite ambitious, but back in 2022, the sport union was sponsored by Audi. So I'd want to bring back a sponsor through the same channels that I've gone through before to be able to bring more funding in to develop college and social sport. And with the discounted physiotherapy, currently the only hours are on a Monday, which I think is the day that students have the most contact hours. So I'd want to expand that and make an online booking system to make it easier to book as well.
Okay, perfect. Do you think that physiotherapy is quite an important part to university sport, especially the discounted part?
I think so, because a lot of physios range from about £50 to £80. Currently there's a £10 discounted physio. So I think it's really important that students do have access to that in order to deal with any injuries.
Okay, perfect. Next question. You have a manifesto point about inclusion in sport. You say that you want to continue pushing for inclusivity and accessibility for all, especially transgender and disabled students. How do you plan on doing this?
So at the moment, Buck's participation policy excludes transgender students because it follows a lot of the non-governing bodies' guidelines. I'd want to increase funding to college sport and social sport and expand it more and advertise social sport more, because I feel like a lot of people don't know about it. Because I think these are the avenues that transgender and non-binary athletes can access more.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Would you like to just very quickly explain your three manifesto points in as much or as little detail as you'd like?
Yeah, so my first one is funding and affordability. So the sponsor, like we've already mentioned, and I'd also like to have a college fundraising week to ensure that college sports also have access to equipment and facilities as much as possible. I'd also really like to push for more inclusion, like I already mentioned, social sports and college sports. I know that badminton, for example, for postgrads, some of their rackets are broken. So really just making sure there's enough equipment and facilities for that. And injury prevention, I also want to make sure there's enough resources available and introduce a weekly newsletter to provide that information to sports psychology, as well as more training sessions for nutrition and things like that. And I also want to help student leaders as well, making kit easier to order, because I know it's a struggle with all the spreadsheets. If you've ever been a kit sec, you've had a bit of a struggle there.
I've got experience with that. I know the struggle. Yeah.
It's not so fun.
With your manifesto points, do you have any personal experience from it, or is it just sort of where you've seen issues and you've gone, I want to change that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been injured for quite a long time, and I know how devastating and isolating it can be. So I really want to push for more injury prevention and also injury recovery, and just building on that, getting people back into sport, and also giving people more resources and help to be able to do that.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. That was Gemma Bridges for Sports Officer. Now we are going to head on to the next interview.
The Sports Officer is the lead to